ImAllexx just released a response video a year later to his ex-girlfriend Alice Hez's abuse allegations towards him that were posted online, and let's just say it hasn't gone down well. ImAllexx is a YouTuber with over 1.86 million subscribers. He has been posting commentating videos on TV shows, posts and other content creators. He also did podcasts with his friend ImAllexx. Got in a relationship with this lass called Alice Hez, aka Malice online. She's a Twitch streamer. She has over 5,600 followers, I believe. They both got in a relationship in March of 2023, and their relationship was met with verbal and physical abuse and arguments almost daily that would end their relationship eventually in June 2024. This is where Alice would release a Google document claiming all of the abuse allegations towards Alice. She provided evidence where she could to back up her claims. At the time of all of this happening, ImAllexx went quiet on YouTube and social media. He didn't post any videos and he didn't respond to any of the allegations that were placed against him. And with no response to the allegations, the confusion and the questions and the concerns slowly died down. Fast forward to now, 2 weeks ago, Alex posted a video, and it was his response to Alice's allegations against him. It's not the greatest defense, I'm not going to lie. But today we're going to go over all of the allegations and the proof and all of that and the audio files in this video. Hi guys, so I hope you all had an easygoing week. This is going to be a really rough and lengthy video, so grab your popcorn, grab your coffee or grab your cup of tea because the tea has been served. So first off, we're going to start with what exactly Alice Hez has accused Alex of doing, and one of them would be where he had breakdowns because of his bipolar disorder, where he would verbally abuse Alex and then he would calm down and be loving towards her. She also claimed that when her and Alex moved in on the 19th of October, an incident happened where they got into an altercation. She'd had enough of the argument, and to like cool things off, she tried to walk away from it, and Alex wasn't having that, and he grabbed her by the hood of her dressing gown and dragged her to the floor. This is where she proceeded to try to go to the bathroom, and he wasn't having it, so he got her in a headlock and covered her mouth and told her stop screaming. She eventually got to the bathroom, but when she did, he was obviously outside the door screaming she's crazy. She tried to get away, but it didn't work. That's really sad, and obviously people have arguments and stuff, but like that's just not on. He also verbally abused her and threatened her, saying that he wanted her to die, he wanted to smash her head in with a brick, and that he wants to kill her. Very much verbal abuse and just awful to see, really. You don't treat someone like that you love. I also forgot to mention that he had called her a c*** multiple times, a bitch many of times, and a as well. To say that both sides are toxic is right, because she's also said the same thing, but she gave the reason that she's so desensitized to that language because Alex used to use it so much and he used to insult her so much that she started to give it back. It's not right, it's toxic, completely toxic, the both of them in this scenario, but they've both used degrading words towards each other. There was actually a flatmate living next to Alice that heard an argument going down, and they actually sent a transcript to Alice of the whole argument, so I'm going to read it out for you in the next clip. You're f***ed up. Shut the f*** up, man. Oh, you f***ing bitch. F*** you, I'm not doing this, you dumb f***. Just shut the f*** up. You're f***ing unbearable. You're so irritating because you couldn't stop yourself, you f***. I am, you f***. Now shut up, Jesus. If you were smart, if you were clever, you'd have said sorry straight away. I'm going to fucking bash your head in. Could have been my head against the wall if you don't shut the fuck up. Listen to what I'm saying. I don't want to hear any comments. Don't want to hear any stupid comments. What did I just fucking say? I felt like you intentionally disrespected me. If I showed that to anyone, I know they'd say, what the fuck is that idiot doing? You're autistically, and that's not an insult, that's the best way I can describe it, you're autistically hung up on this. I'm right, I've been right the entire time. such an unbearable little bitch. Oh my god, you're like an actual This is driving me insane. You are the problem. You've made me a worse person. The conversation the other day, you called me a yeah, I called you an unlovable but you called me a I think you've caused so much damage it's unfixable. I don't think you're actually trying to fix this. N-word, shut the fuck up. Close your mouth. You gaslit me for an hour. I'm right, you're wrong. That's it. I stopped myself, but I was going to say pattern up you but I didn't. There you have it. He also made jokes towards the cat. Very strange, inappropriate jokes. All of these claims Alice made, she put in a Google Doc and she uploaded all the evidence that she could to publish online to spread awareness and, well, just to get some clarity on the situation for herself, really, and just show how awful he is as a person. There are so many screenshots and I'm talking absolutely loads. Most of them are just them arguing constantly. So I've just picked out the one that we need for the topics of this video. So now we know what Alice claimed on her side of the story. We're going to have a look at Alex's side, which is the response video, because that's the only thing that's mentioned anything about this whole situation from him. So we are going to go over his response video.
This video is my response to allegations made by my ex-girlfriend Alice Hez, who I was in a relationship with for the majority of 2023. Alice hit me, kicked me, emotionally, verbally and physically abused me, as well as threatened me and blackmailed me constantly throughout our relationship.
Not only did he wait a year to respond, he also lied about a couple things, and he lied about Claire's Law, or he was misinformed. His response just kind of seems like he's trying to save face and try and make her look bad with like clutching at straws basically. So we're going to be going over that and I'm going to be reacting to the response. When I was watching the response, he also never mentioned once about wanting to smash her head in with a brick, or there was a few things that he left out in the video.
But when it actually matters, when you should lay down like a good fucking dog, you don't fucking do it, you fight for some reason. I don't know why you fight, because you're losing. Is it generally because you're just brain dead?
Yeah, I'm very brain dead, yeah. Acting like this is all just me, and that's something you really need to fix.
I'm gonna bash your head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the up.
But what can he say? Because if he did talk about it, he's spreading awareness on his own channel about himself. He can't dispute it because it was critical evidence on video call. And if he did try to talk about it on his channel, he would just get cancelled for good. That is why he's not mentioning any of it. He is already losing subscribers from this. He used to have 2 million and now he's at 1.8. I'm surprised he still has such a huge following base, but I don't think many people know about it. There's obviously quite a few that know about it, but if everybody knew about it, he wouldn't still be around. So the first thing we're going to be discussing is this whole Claire's Law thing. Alice made a report to the police for Claire's Law to just report the incidents that had happened with the physical abuse. Alex had responded to this in the video saying, you do not need to be, that you need to be convicted to be on Claire's Law, which is a complete lie. I actually looked this up. It's official on the government website. You do not need to be convicted to be on Claire's Law. And the reasoning is because they actually look at the reports for patterns of abusive behaviour. They'll also look at previous convictions from that person to see if there is any. And they will use this information to disclose whether they need to prevent a crime. This was either lying or he was misinformed on this matter. There was also another thing where people were saying that Alice had edited the Google document like multiple times. Someone screenshotted the Google doc and it said, oh, this file has been edited so many times. Alice posted this in her Google document. She did say that there was multiple people editing the Google doc and that she showed a screenshot of when the document was last edited, which was on June the 15th of 2024. And the reason why people mentioned that was because they thought that she was trying to perfect her story. She was probably just trying to get as much evidence into the files as much as possible. When I looked at the document, all I see is facts and evidence. She obviously can't prove certain things that haven't been on text and were behind closed doors. Sometimes you just can't prove things. You either believe someone or you don't. Moving on to the racism that happened between these two. Yeah, a bit weird, a bit random. It wasn't like directed towards black people. It was used indirectly, but I believe that social media has normalized racism or the N-word so much that the N-word just gets chucked around, and then other people then tend to use it because it's now turned into this joke. It's not something you just chuck around, but we've actually noticed a pattern. A lot of people have said that word at least once in their lifetime. That just shows you how normalized saying this word loosely is. And I'm not saying it should be normalized, I think it's completely wrong, but it has been normalized and it shouldn't be. Alice has also spoke about her side of the story about when she slapped Alex, because she has never once lied about this and she's never tried to twist the narrative on this. She has been open about it, and she even said it in the messages towards Alex. He claimed that she would constantly abuse him, which she says is a lie. Obviously we don't know all the ins and outs of this relationship. I actually believe Alice because I feel like this was reactive abuse, and I am assuming that Alex is a narcissist. The reason why I say this is because in my past relationship I dated a narcissist and he acted the exact same way as Alex. But obviously I am no mental health doctor. I don't specialize in any of that. If you've ever been with a narcissist, you know what they are like, and they will push you to breaking point, and sometimes it does make you react physically. Alice also said that the reason for the slapping is because she felt there was no other way out of the situation that she was in. Alex also mentions that Alice lied about him not being diagnosed, as to which Alice responded and said that she did not know that he was diagnosed because they stopped speaking in May 2024. He got diagnosed after that, so she actually was unaware that he got diagnosed. She doesn't understand why he's lying about that and saying that she lied about him being diagnosed. It's also confusing, and just it's this whole like fight back and forth even now a year later, and it's crazy. She again provided screenshots for this and she gave her backup. There was another situation where Alex was laid in bed with Alice and he claims that she donkey kicked him in the head and neck.
Alice turned around in bed and kicked me in my lower back, and I told her to f*** off. And then she kicked me even harder and then started to donkey kick me in my neck and in the back of my head. Alice had done this so hard that I fell out of the bed while she was still kicking me. I proceeded to get incredibly angry and I shouted at Alice and I insulted her, and this is something that I deeply regret doing.
While Alex was constantly texting Alice and they were going back and forth, she would always mention the sides where she was getting hit, but not once does he mention anything about the donkey kick, her constantly abusing him, which is a little bit odd, because if your partner was telling you about how you abused them, but you know you've had it back, you would defend yourself and you would say, well, you've done this to me, you've done that to me. So it's a little bit odd that he hasn't mentioned any of it. Obviously that's not concrete proof to like say that she didn't do anything to him, but it's a little bit odd because you would mention it in the text. The way he's talking through the texts to Alice, it sounds like he's trying to sweeten her up so she doesn't speak about it anymore. He's trying to save face, or he's trying to calm the situation down so that he doesn't get cancelled for good. He mentions that he's sorry multiple times, like all the time. But it's funny because if you were so sorry about the way that you treated that person, you would have never done it in the first place. The only reason why you're sorry now is because it's all coming out and she's got the proof to back it up. Now it's all just blown out of proportion and you can't handle it, you can't control it, and now you're trying to control it and it's not working for you. Alex also says in his video that Alice punched him over the cat. Alice stated previously that it wasn't punched, she pushed him, and she mentions that in the messages. She pushed him off of her and the cat, and her reasoning was because he was saying like really strange, inappropriate jokes towards the cat. He was saying stuff like, oh, I'm gonna take the cat away. In this incident that happened, that was what he said. But in the past he's also said things like, I'm going to break the cat's neck, which is just, yeah, that's a really funny joke. Alice also said that he gets jealous over the cat, obviously because Alice gives the cat so much attention. And I mean, look at this cat, man. He's adorable. How can you not love that? Look at the ears, man. So cute. She actually pushed him off of her and the cat because she got uncomfortable with what he was saying to the cat, which is understandable, you know. I mean, if he was making jokes about breaking the cat's neck, I would be a little bit, I wouldn't want him anywhere near the cat. Alice claims that Alex kicked her so many times throughout the relationship, and that Alex's reasoning was that he was trying to get her attention and that it was a joke. Alex also has or had a fungal skin infection, and it was all over his neck and his chest, his arm, pretty much all of his torso and his back. I'm not sure about his legs, but yeah, he had a fungal skin condition. It wasn't contagious or anything. He had to apply creams to let it heal. And in his response video, he'd said that Alice had actually made it worse by hitting him.
I've had a skin condition since 2021 that was brought on by stress. This skin condition would cause me to have full body itching episodes when I was touched, pushed or hit, and it made it very hard for me to sleep.
And Alice didn't like him having his shirt off. He had no proof of any of these claims, and Alice then responded by saying she provided screenshots of the conversation of her saying that she'd help put the cream on. And I mean, if someone doesn't want your shirt off, I doubt that they're gonna like touch your skin infection. That doesn't make any sense to me. Alice did mention that she said it was by poor hygiene, which it's not necessarily poor hygiene. It's more that the skin's being irritated by a certain fabric or a certain like chemical, or it could even be improper use of creams. And I'm pretty sure she did mention that he would never put his cream on, but his texts never mentioned anything about, you know, her hitting him made it worse. So Alice says that she wears glasses from time to time, and she'd lost them. Well, she lost them, but she lost them. And Alex then said to her, you know, oh, I'll help you look for them. So they were both looking for these glasses. Wouldn't it be funny if you hid them? He started laughing. He then actually later confessed to not only hiding her glasses, but smashing them as well. He did replace them with money, so he gave her the money back for the glasses. It's a classic narcissistic power move, where they do this to get a reaction from you, and they get a thrill off stressing you out or getting you pissed off, and they know that they have control over that, and it's emotional abuse, playing with someone's emotions, and it's not fair. And finally, moving on to when Alice finally decided to move out of the place. While she was in the process of moving out, she did actually have to leave a couple of items there until she could come collect it another day. She actually said that she left her PC, her keyboard, and like some other things, and Alex was texting her basically just saying he was going to leave it in the garage, and then next minute he would say, oh well, I'm leaving it outside. And apparently it was raining at the time, so obviously, yeah, you don't want to leave it outside. So he's just mentally fucking with her head again. When he said that he would leave it outside, he basically went back on it and said he's going to leave it in the garage. So he would go back and forth between saying he's going to leave it outside, leave it in the garage, leave it outside. And I feel like this was a way of trying to see how she would react and see if she would like just say, oh, I'm just gonna stay there, you know, or something, I don't know. And at this point, he was also like messaging her saying, oh, you've destroyed everything, you've ruined it all. Then he would say, oh, you know, all over a kitchen argument, like so they were arguing over cleaning the kitchen or something. He said that's why she was leaving, was over an argument. No, there was a build-up of things obviously happening in that relationship that she's decided to finally move out of the house. Of course it's not over a cleaning argument. He's just trying to say that she's crazy. He also, again, tries to fuck with her head. He's basically saying that the keys popped off the keyboard. They don't just pop off without, you know, proper pressure underneath the keycap. The thing is, he messages her saying that he actually took the keys off, and then he goes back to saying they were popped off. Then she finally got her stuff back and she looked at the keyboard. There was actually a dent on the side of the keyboard, which made it look like he smashed it off something. He's obviously not respecting any of her property. He doesn't respect her. To me, he comes across as a classic narcissist. I feel like I've covered everything I can in this video. It was a lot to go over. a lot to process, and hearing both sides, I hate doing this whole I take sides thing, but I do believe Alice because I have been through a narcissistic relationship myself, and they do drive you to breaking point. They will do things to mess with you, like sell your items or destroy one of your items and say, oh, I didn't do it. They'll think it's funny because they know that they did it. They love to call you crazy. They love to call you delusional. They'll call you every verbally abusive name under the sun. Alex did that a lot throughout this relationship, called Alice all sorts of names. And not just once, it was constantly. And when all of this was happening, they were only living together for a short time. That was it for this. Well, I say that was it for this video. It was a long ass video, but I really wanted to cover this topic. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do leave a like. It lets me know that you enjoy videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.